Moving on now, after facing a ban for about 36 years, Salman Rushdie's Satanic Verses is once again back on the bookshelves in India. The book was banned under the Rajiv Gandhi regime in 1988. Finally, in November this year, court paved the way for lifting the ban since authorities failed to produce the 1988 notification of the imposed ban. The book ran into trouble shortly after its publication, eventually leading to Iranian leader Ruhollah Khomeini issuing a fatwa calling for the assassination of Salman Rushdie and his publishers. In July 1991, the novelist's Japanese translator was killed in his office. And even Rushdie was attacked during a public lecture in New York, leaving him partially blind and with limited mobility in one hand. Even today, several Muslim organizations have called to ban the book once again. What's astonishing is that the opposition, including the Congress, which has been the flag bearer of free speech, has also asked for reimposing the ban on the book and calling for lifting the ban, BJP's agenda to fan communal fire. BJP, on the other hand, hurled free speech duplicity jibe at the opposition. Listen into the war of words.
BJP government can do anything to hurt the sentiments of Muslim community. That is the reason now it is coming in market.
अब इस किताब पे बैन था, अब दिल्ली की हाई कोर्ट ने इस बैन को हटाया, तो हम तो चाहेंगे कि सरकार इसमें इंटरवीन करे और फिर से बैन लगाने की मांग करे, इंटरवीनिंग एप्लीकेशन डाले, इसके खिलाफ अपील फाइल की जाए हायर कोर्ट के अंदर और इस किताब पे जो बैन है, पाबंदी है, वो जारी रहे।
कांग्रेस पार्टी वैसे तो कहती है हम फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच के लिए हैं, हम अभिव्यक्ति की आजादी के लिए हैं, हम बुक्स पर प्रतिबंध नहीं लगाते, ये तो फैसिस्ट माइंडसेट है। कांग्रेस पार्टी बोलती है कि सनातन को समाप्त करना ये फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच का हिस्सा है, हिंदू टेरर बोलना फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच का हिस्सा है।
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Let's go across to our guests. There are two issues. One is that of freedom of speech. The other one is just putting the onus on the BJP. Tehseen Poonawalla, direct question by Shehzad Poonawalla. Kya hua Congress party ke freedom of speech ko? How do you respond?
So, you know, this puts me in a dilemma because I'm not for any bans. I'm a free speech absolutist. Only to be stopped by laws of civil defamation, not criminal defamation. That's my belief, if there is something as such. So there should not be criminal defamation. So I don't think books, movies, TV channels, paintings should be banned. You don't like a painting, get out of the gallery. You don't like a channel, switch off the channel or change the channel. You don't like a movie, don't watch it. You don't like a book, shut it. You have no right to ban things. That's point number one. Point number two, I think there's been too much of anti-Hinduism attacks in India. I think India as a nation today must decide one thing. If we have freedom of speech, it must be for all cultures, all religions, or we must decide whether you want to stifle freedom of speech, something which I am not in favor of because that stops academic research. Whatever course India chooses, that's a course for India should choose. Neither side should be appeased, neither the Hindu side, neither the Muslim side, neither the Christian side, neither the Sikh side. All Indians, and we must think as Indians, for freedom of speech. And in my opinion, freedom of speech must only be restricted by civil defamation laws, if such, and that is a personal defamation, not on governments, by the way.
So that is your personal belief.
Yes.
What is your advice to the Congress?
My
Whoever who's saying that there should be a
advice to
reimposing
all
of the ban.
political parties is don't play with fire. Let it be. People who want to read something will read. If they don't like it, encourage them to not read it. If people want to watch something, they'll watch. They don't want to watch, don't watch it. Don't fan sentiments. We've seen what's happened with Sartan Se Juda. We've seen what's happened with Desh Ke Gaddaro Ko. We don't need more hate in our country. We need love in our country. We don't need this. So people should choose to decide, watch what they want or not to watch. Governments should stay out of it. Political parties should stay out of it.
You're saying government should stay out of it, but the Congress party and others are saying that this suits BJP's agenda. They've put the onus on the Bharatiya Janata Party.
They've done this at the time of elections.
But the order has come from the court, not from the government, right?
Yeah, so they could have held on, appealed. Now that the orders come from the court, now they could have not made it a big deal. But it is what it is. It's a court order, respected. Don't make it a political issue. In my opinion, don't make it a political issue. The issues of the people of India, including the Muslims of India, is unemployment, education, jobs. Don't make these the issues. That is my personal opinion.
Dr. Ranganathan, I think it's easy for Tehseen Poonawalla, who's a political analyst, to say that his belief is very different from what the political statements are today of the Congress. But how is this the responsibility of the Bharatiya Janata Party? How is this the BJP, BJP's communal agenda which comes into play if the order has come from the court?
Absolutely, Swati. I beg you, please give me a couple of minutes, possibly a minute more, because I need to talk on two issues here. Look, number one, this is beyond the hypocrisy or shameless cowardice of the Congress going back 35 years, when in fact India was shamefully the first country to ban Salman Rushdie's Satanic Verses. Beyond that, it is also beyond that Congress accepts, even participates in Hindu phobia, in anti-Hindu things, in insulting Hindu sacred texts, Manusmriti being one, but on the other hand, shirks away from even talking about sacred texts of other religions. It is beyond that. Because to be honest with you, this is what I want to talk about for the next couple of minutes. Please, I beg your indulgence, because let's face it, this is an argument Rushdie, you, me, proponents of free speech cannot win. Swati, we need to understand two things. The millions who demanded ban on Satanic Verses, who are demanding ban even now, who pour on to the streets demanding Sar Tan Se Juda, they are not mad. They are not terrorists. They are not fanatics. They are simply following religious fundamentals. They are all very law-abiding. Their law is Sharia. The obvious question to ask is there Islamic sanction for punishing blasphemy? And the answer is unequivocally yes, there is. Allah has specified, ordered, that those who abuse Allah and His Messenger, Allah has cursed them in this world and the hereafter and prepared for them a humiliating punishment, 3357. And that the penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger, the crime Ayatollah accused Rushdie of, is that they be killed 533. For 1.8 billion Muslims, Allah's word is inviolable, and He Himself has said so. 3362, 6115, 1827, 634 further. The Sahih Muslim Hadith 1944-36 specifically quotes Prophet Muhammad as saying, quote, "Who will kill Ka'b Ashraf, the poet? He has maligned Allah the Exalted and His Messenger," unquote. We need to understand, anyone who is perceived to have abused Allah or His Messenger will sooner or later meet the fate of Kamlesh Tiwari or Samuel Pati. It may take a week, a month, a year, a decade, but it will happen.
No, Tehseen Poonawalla is saying that's polarizing. What you're saying is polarizing. He wants to rebut.
Dr. Ranganathan.
Quoting facts is polarizing.
Dr. Ranganathan, if I may. Dr. Ranganathan, if I may.
How?
Dr. Ranganathan, if I may.
I was interrupted, Tehseen.
I'm sorry, you please finish, then I will. I'm sorry, I didn't intend
No, I don't have much time, so let's take quick
But I didn't
rebuttals
interrupt you, but if you do want to finish, yeah. Dr. Ranganathan, Islam, like Hinduism, is a very diverse religion. It has different interpretations, and I don't think the Muslims of India or the people of India follow the Sharia, they follow the constitution. There is no blasphemy laws in India, and that's the way it will be. We must strive to be a progressive society, a society that is tolerant, and we should not get into rhetoric or into what is not.
Okay. Sanju Verma wants to come in. Sanju Verma, the onus has been put on the BJP. Some in the Congress and the opposition are saying that this suits BJP's narrative.
You know, first and foremost, the big fact which your audience needs to know is that the ban on Satanic Verses has been lifted by the Delhi High Court a little over 2 months back. It's not done by the BJP. Point number two, I'm not a free speech absolutist like either Tehseen or Dr. Ranganathan, because I believe that, you know, my freedom of speech ends where your freedom of speech begins. Having said that, I want to call out the hypocrisy of the Congress party. Ye hamesha kehte hain, if you don't like a book, produce a new book. If you don't like a movie, produce a new movie. If you don't like a painting, paint a fresh one. So the Congress party has never believed in free speech. From arresting Majrooh Sultanpuri and Balraj Sahni in 1949 to Indira Gandhi superseding Hansraj Khanna in 1977 and making M.H. Beg as the Chief Justice of India, to the fact that B.G. Varghese, who was the personal advisor to Indira Gandhi from 1966 to 1968, he just wrote 2 lines against her in an editorial. He was given the marching orders in 1975.
Okay.
To the fact that Nehru passed the First Amendment in 1951 to curb free speech, to the fact that Indira Gandhi passed the 42nd Amendment.
All right, Sanju Verma,
Sanju
Verma, I'm completely out of time. I know Dr. Ranganathan, you want to come in, but I have no time left in debate number 2. Thank you very much, Sanju Verma, Dr. Ranganathan, and Tehseen Poonawalla for joining us.